everybody. Thank you for joining us on another episode of What's to Watch. I'm Savannah Jones.
And I'm Rex Shrevita. Today we have Thomas Cadrot joining us to talk about his role in the new movie Scream 6. So first of all, congratulations on the role.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was so much fun. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your character in the new Scream?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so I make an appearance as Gail Weathers' new beau / personal trainer. I think that's obvious when you see the movie, and it comes at a critical moment where, without giving too many spoilers, Gail finally gets to talk to Ghostface, and I am kind of caught in the crosshairs of all that. Yeah.
Sounds interesting. So how did you prepare for your role?
Well, I mean, it was a it was a 3-month-long process, I think, because I auditioned for it back in June of 2022, and by mid-July, I was flown out to Montreal to join the cast, and so it was hush hush. Honestly, when I got the breakdown for this part, it didn't say what the movie was. The sides, which are like the script of the scene, didn't say the actual name, so I didn't know who or what this had to do with. So I just went with my gut and just treated the scene as I would any other scene when I auditioned. And when I got shortlisted and eventually offered the part, they told me, it's for Scream 6.
Wow. So how'd you feel seeing that?
Oh man, you know what? I went to see the movie Sunday night with friends, and they asked me exactly the same thing afterwards. I'm like, being a fan of the whole franchise, this being the 6th, and I had actually gone to see number 5 the year before, and I thought, wow, what they did is really awesome, and they're like rebooting it without rebooting it. They're still holding on to the legacy characters, so it was very interesting. And I'm like, it's an awesome movie. And so being a fan, just being able to be immersed in that universe, and I got to tip my hat to Matt and Tyler, the directors of this movie, because I'm very thankful that they brought me along for the ride. But yeah, just being a fan, it was awesome being on set, and of course sharing the screen with Courtney Cox is also a perk, and yeah.
So what was the most challenging scene that you had to film, and how did you overcome it?
Well, it was so this scene, so I don't know if you guys have seen it already, but it's one long scene. And to be honest, I mean, the body count is high in this movie. Okay, the body count is high. The gore is high, the blood is high. I think the hardest thing for me was to sit in the prosthetics chair before actually going into the scene. So that kind of indicates what happens.
Yeah.
But that was the acting opposite Courtney was totally fine. It was just as it would be with any other scene partner. And thank God I didn't get starstruck, because that would have been a problem. Right. But the hardest part is everything that comes after.
Okay.
If you can guess the hint. Yeah.
Right.
It's hard on an actor because it's so much about angles and lighting and the effects, and so the gruesomeness of the scene afterwards is pretty hard on an actor. Yeah.
So if you were in a real life Scream situation yourself, would you be the one to run and hide? Would you sit there and scream or fight back? Because I always wonder that when I'm watching the movies like this. I'm like, what would I do?
I would grab a weapon, go to an open space, turn around, and wait to confront, like, head on.
Ooh.
Because I feel the most damage is done when you're not expecting it, especially with Ghostface. Like, he pops out wherever, whenever he wants. So right. I think keeping eyes on him at all times, and then turning and taking a stab at it, no pun intended, is the only way to survive. Otherwise, he's gonna keep coming at you from every shadow, in every back alley, in every nook and cranny of an apartment. Yeah, so
we were talking about it earlier, like what we would do. And me personally, I don't know if I would have, if I'm brave enough to like, hunker down and like get a weapon. I'm like, I just want to run, keep running until I just feel like I
Right.
can't run anymore because I couldn't fight. And then you don't want to
Yeah, but
hide.
what happens if he runs faster? That's the thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Now I will tell you this, like it always seems like it always seems like it's LeBron James hiding under the Ghostface mask. Like Ghostface is so athletic, he will jump over tables and he will slash at you and he will take things to the face. Like he doesn't back down. He or she doesn't back down. So it's like, yeah, you either fight or you die.
Yeah,
I'd rather fight.
I respect that for sure. So the Scream franchise is known for its self-awareness and like the meta humor. So how does Scream 6 continue that tradition? And how did you approach delivering your lines and playing your character's role with that in mind?
To not be too much on the nose about it because every great moment in that movie starts with a phone call. And
Right.
it's always the same person, it's always the same person on the other side of the phone, and you gotta try to not make that campy. So I thought just keep the delivery simple, and then if we need to tweak things up, make it more dramatic, then you make it more dramatic, but just deliver the line as you would in real life. Do not to think about how other people have delivered the line, like going into picking up that call and then handing over the phone to Courtney and stuff like that. Um, just to keep it simple, because these characters, I haven't, like me, my character, I've never been through it, so I haven't experienced what Gail had been through or what the core four has been through. So to me, it's something completely new. So I have to treat it like it's brand new. Yeah.
So you touched on it a little bit before, but this movie marks the return of OG cast members like Courtney Cox. So what was it like working with them, and did they offer you personally any advice or insights into going into this?
Uh, in terms of advice, there was no advice shared, because, like I said again, like because I haven't been through all the trauma, and I'm just somebody who was just dropped into this world and brand new to it. I didn't need any advice. I just needed to approach it with a fresh face and a fresh approach. Yeah. But our conversations with Courtney, like she's super sweet, and it was an immense privilege to watch her work, because she is, like, not only is she an OG in this franchise, she's an OG in the whole entertainment industry, and to
Exactly.
see how she approaches a scene, whether it's just dialogue or stunts, which are heavy in this movie, I learned a lot. Learned a lot.
Yeah. So these movies are known for twists and turns, like you said. He can pop out at any moment. So,
Mhm.
and keeps the audience on the edge of their seats. So, without giving away any spoilers, can you give us a sense of like the twists and the turns that we can expect in the movie for anyone who hasn't
Yes,
seen it?
until you can expect to be on the edge of your seat, and seriously, like from the get-go all the way to the last frame of the movie, because even when you think you figured it out, and that's like 15 minutes from the end, it's still not what it seems. And I think the reveal in this one is even better, because it follows a pattern from the previous movies, but it also expands on it without saying too much. And fans of the franchise are going to find a lot of Easter eggs in it, and a lot of callbacks to the previous movies, fun moments. And I think that's, I would honestly, and not because I'm a fan, but just as somebody who watches movies and who has the opportunity to be in them, I would rate this movie a 10 out of 10, because it mixes humor and drama and gore so well, so well. Like at no point was I, or were my friends and I, like, oh no, this wouldn't happen in real life. Like these situations were handled and thought through methodically by the directors. So yeah, just, you might have a hint, you might think you know who it is, but you're not gonna have any idea by the time the movie's over. and it warrants a second watch just to see if you can pick up on clues. Yeah.
That's great. So for our last little section, we have a short game that we want to play. It's called Finish That Sentence. So we're gonna ask just a few questions and then you finish the sentence. That's it.
All right.
All right, so the first one is my favorite production I've ever worked on, other than Scream, of course, is
Merry Little Christmas. So it's a movie I've been doing with Kelly Rowland for the past 4 years. It airs on Lifetime, and it's always a pleasure to get back to it. We're gonna film part 4 this year, and it's just a huge sense of family, and you can catch that on Lifetime. It's Merry Little Christmas.
That's crazy that you said that because me and Rex, we like love Christmas movies. So like with the Christmas list. And so that one was definitely on our radar. So
it's feel good. It's like feel good movies, right? So it's always a pleasure because the atmosphere on set is light. Kelly always brings so much energy and so much love and warmth to the whole cast and crew. So yeah.
Yes. So our next question is working with Kelly Rowland was, if you could describe that in one word.
So enriching. She is, she's a beast. Like I knew that as a fan of Destiny's Child, I knew that going into the first one, but I didn't know how down to earth and how warm and smart and caring she is. And she's constantly dishing out amazing life advice and really made me and the rest of the crew, actually, rest of the cast, feel like part of a family. And she's just super talented. She's not a triple threat. She's like a quadruple, quintuple, sextuple threat. Like she got everything. And she doesn't stop. She doesn't stop.
So our final one is, we read that you were born in France. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you've lived in places like, obviously, Vancouver, Miami, all these different cities. So my favorite place to travel to is blank.
South America. For the food, for the warmth, take a break from Canada a little bit. And I've only had the fondest memories from there. The culture and the people are just amazing. Yeah.
All right,
nothing like Latin culture.